In today's video, I'm going to get straight to the point and go over 5 non-physical characteristics, traits, attributes that women find very attractive, but also allow you to realize that, physical appearance is one thing, but ultimately what creates that long-lasting attraction doesn't just end with your good looks. That keeps the attraction going because looks fade. People get bored very easily, but being intact with these 5 things I'm going to mention, I think will set you guys up for a lot of success. So starting off with number 1, it's having authenticity and knowing what your very own uniqueness is to you. So a man that has a strong self-identity is very attractive, not only because it showcases to a woman he's not easily persuaded by what other people want out of him or want him to be, which allows women to know that he is not easily manipulated. Sometimes women will unconsciously test men within manipulating them to get what she wants out of him. But when a man actually can stand firm in what he knows to be true in every single given moment that is actually attached to his authenticity, this is a rare breed of man who can show up as himself and be unapologetic for it, especially when it's coming from him having his best interest in mind. And ultimately, out of that state, having a woman's best interest in mind. Authenticity is rare in today's society because I feel like we're all trying to appease people to be liked and validated, whether it be out in public, on dates, social media, etc. It's nice to be liked, but it is also a skill to be disliked and not caring about another person's perception of who you are. Because when you have that solid knowingness of the authentic nature that you are here to bring forth into the world, it's ultimately a disservice not to be who you are. And a woman will respect a man who can show her that degree of selflessness within himself regarding other people. To be selfless enough to know that one's perception of who he is, etc., does not dictate anything unless he gives another person's definition or meaning to him as more important than his own. So please keep this in mind and practice your authenticity by just being aware of yourself and being aware of what you do desire, your truth and your voice and whatever it is that's true to you. Harness it and cultivate that and bring it forth into your relationships, because that's what people want to see in today's world is authenticity, because it shines very bright. It's a strong, powerful force that cannot be reckoned with. Number 2 is self-awareness paired with accountability. A man that has developed enough self-awareness to understand that everything in his life is ultimately there to grow him into the master of his reality. So he can take any sort of circumstance that comes his way and use it as fuel to propel him forward constantly. And I think this is a really strong attribute within men that needs to be upheld, because in order for you to lead a relationship and to get that respect you are, craving from a woman, really important that you can show yourself that you can lead your own life. And a great way to start is just by cultivating a sense of awareness around your circumstances and what takes your power away very easily. And really question why, and question where you're playing victim still in your life, and pondering on the idea that it could be there to serve you in your very own self-mastery, to actually cultivate a deeper sense of power and ignition to why you are here in the first place, is not to live a life of mediocrity unless you choose to. And I think that self-awareness component is very important to women, because a lot of people experience toxic patterns through their life. It's just, I think, a part of evolution and learning about different attributes within people that we like, dislike, etc., our shadow selves. But for you to bring forth a level of self-awareness, not only to your actions and your maybe emotional responses, but also to bring forth a level of understanding to the women you interact with, that you can confront conflict or any disruption with a level of calmness that comes from having self-awareness of this game of life. Having a degree of knowingness that whatever conflict arises in a relationship, you have a choice to either grow from it or to fall victim to it. And for you to lead in a way that you will always choose the growth path, even if there is no path there, you make a pathway for yourself and perhaps for the women in your life. And showing yourself that you have the capability to lead your life in whatever circumstance that is dealt to you, that is power. And that is very strongly felt by us women, is when like we see a man experiencing conflict or disruption or whatever in his life, and understand that this is evolution. He is on the path of evolution. And we will naturally sense that and want that, even if it scares the woman, to be around a man with that much self-awareness and accountability. It will provide her a safe container to actually heal by you showing her what healthy masculinity is. Nobody wants a man who just constantly settles and blames life and falls victim. It's not attractive. So if you do find yourself in that pattern, question why and understand the principle here on earth that all circumstances do not matter. Your state of being towards them really does matter and has the effect to change instantly. Number 3 is ambition and a sense of purpose. A man who has ambition towards a life that he wants to create for himself and the woman that will be affected by his actions really does matter, because ambition showcases not only to yourself as a man, but also to women that you will not settle for what is. You create the life that you want to experience. And having that ambition is a result of overcoming resiliency again and again and really developing that strength. Because I think the people who are wanting a successful life, one of abundance and freedom, it comes by constantly finding yourself having to be resilient to all the times you have been knocked down and getting back up, regardless if you feel like it or not. You don't wait for life to happen for you. You make life. You create the life that you are wanting to live. Regardless of circumstances, regardless of finances, regardless of where you've come from, you don't settle. You realize that freedom is your birthright. And ultimately, freedom is a state of mind first and foremost. So a man who has the freedom to actually choose the ambition that will propel him towards his desires is highly attractive, is showing to a woman that you're a high achieving man, even if you haven't achieved the results you want yet. Having that mentality and showing her that and yourself constantly will actually bring your goals closer to you, because you will not give up. And I think a man or any individual who doesn't give up on his dreams, goals, etc., will come off as magnetic. You will have an aura that will penetrate any fear, because you have that strong belief in yourself and your capability of creating, which is why we're all here, is to create. So you don't take your downfalls as a necessarily bad thing. You use it constantly for your development to get you to where you want to be and ultimately master this game of life, like I mentioned before. And having a sense of purpose matched with ambition is top tier, because a lot of people don't actually allow themselves to step into purpose in this life. They fall victim to what other people want out of their life, or they believe in their self-limiting beliefs that will ultimately create a limited reality for them to live in. And even if you're not where you want to be right now, don't allow that to stop you. Use that for greater motivation to keep going toward where you want to be. Number 4 is a man with sense of humor that has a goofy side, that can let his guards down and relax a little bit and not take life so seriously all the time. Although at times it's important to kind of have that frame, that kind of masculine frame of dominance and force and drive. But at some point, you're going to have to come home to yourself and hang up the armor and rest in your humor. Rest in actually taking a breath and a breather and having a good time here and there, and not taking life so seriously, like I said. Understanding that this life is a game and we get to actually choose the character we play and how we want to experience it. So, you being able to crack a joke or make light out of a dark circumstance and just, be childlike with a woman. It's so healing and fun and playful that will really allow the connection to build and the chemistry to build out of that childlike nature that you provide. And allow yourself to hang up that armor so you can then fight your battles in a more effective way, because you have allowed yourself that space, the space that laughter can provide, that goofiness can provide, that will actually energize you forward and allow yourself to be even centered to your spirit. Because I do believe having that playful nature in anything you do will make the experience so much better, just because you're not putting the weight on your shoulders. It relieves that. Number 5 is something that's not talked about enough, but I did want to highlight it to conclude today's video, is a man that's good with children. This is attractive to women who are wanting children or not, because it indicates a level of care and protectiveness that a man provides. Now, also due to the fact that we are human beings and we're here to procreate, so it will kind of stimulate that response of unconsciously or consciously discerning a man to be, the father of your children. Like I said, regardless if you want children or not. It brings a woman close to her femininity. I think when she sees a man good with children, is responsive to children, and allows his, masculine guard to kind of fall and be goofy and be childlike with children, is very attractive and gives her a sense of actually investing in you, even if it's in the early stages. Being around children, obviously if you guys don't have children, it might be hard, but if you do have like nieces or nephews, etc., and you're interacting with them, a woman is going to like to see that, is going to value that you value family. And I think the natural energy that a man emits while being with children is protective. It's coming back into center of like the raw attraction quality that men and women have for each other. Also allowing women to get in touch with that femininity through just seeing a man with a child, even if she's aware of it or not. I hope today's video helped you and gave you guys some new perspectives and brought some light that it's not always about your physical looks. Don't discount how important it is to have character and morals and value that you provide that will far precede your looks in the long run. So if you guys like today's video, give it a like, hit the subscribe button. And if you guys are wanting any one-on-one coaching with me, my email is down below. I would love to work with you and hear from you. And yeah, without further ado, I will see you in my next video. Bye.